What guns are good? I'm just going to quickly go through. Type 25 is good, potentially meta. It's had a buff. It needs stopping power to be good, so which means you only have 30 bullets. That's the limitation. M16 got a buff. Some people are saying, it's the new KSP. Wow. No, actually, if it had no recoil, it would absolutely be a long-range beam of a burst weapon, but is still a buff or two away from being meta, so no. AK-117, outside of the top 5 meta, potentially in the top 10 or just out of it. It's one of those ones that last season was a good contender. I think if you were using this last season, you'd just continue using it. Like nothing's happened to it. Peacekeeper going down. Unfortunately, the Krigs come in, and the Kilo is still good above it. AK-47, YOLO, you know, ASM-10 with this new Branson barrel on it. I've got a video, click here, go check it out. M4, no change. No change to BK, no change. LK got a little buff. It's like a B tier gun, I guess. Maybe it's an A. All these guns I'm calling out that are no change and stuff, they're non-meta. You can use them and you can win, but you have to really work out what the gun's strength is. The ICR got a nice little buff as well. Still a dark horse. It was last season. It's even more so now. Man of War, no change. KN, no change. HBR, no change. HVK, skilled meta. Was good last season if you're a skilled player. Not many bullets. You have to use the large caliber ammo, which reduces the bullets. Potentially good for S&D. DRH, same, no change. Peacekeeper, massive nerf. Massive nerf in that the agile stock ADS movement speed went from something ridiculous down to 20%, and the firm grip tape hit flinch reduction went from 90% down to 20%. The ADS movement, the strafing speed on this is what made it great, especially once they dropped the recoil. They should have just reverted the old recoil and it would have put this back into skilled meta. Instead, it's still a good gun, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's outside of top 10. Although, if you wanted to just keep using it, it's still got good strafing speed. It's just there's better guns now. It's not the top. That's all that means. So I think that's still amongst the non-top meta, that's still really good. Like, better than the ICR. FR got a slight buff. Really not a lot of change, except that you don't have to use stipple grip tape for this to counteract the bad sprint to fire delay now. ASVAL, if you're into close range strafing, like to replace the Peacekeeper, if you were using the Peacekeeper and didn't want to continue, the ASVAL could be a contender for you. If you wanted to use an AR, to be honest, there's better SMGs that fill the position, but yeah. AMAX, CR56, no change. M13, no change. Still a good gun. I would still consider that meta. Swordfish, no change. Kilo, yeah, Kilo arguably if you don't have the Krig, is that how you say it yet? This is your top AR. Maybe slash M13, depending on your playstyle. I'd actually put the Kilo first. But with the Krig coming out, I guess some of us are unlocking it already in the Battle Pass. Odin, no change. That's my cursed loadout. This, point of note, Odin has the best BSA out of all the ARs. That's why when those that saw my video, the cursed Odin video, or saw me using it on stream with this ridiculous barrel and ridiculous scope, but the bullet spread looks so tight at range. It's because it's a great gun, but you have to use it in a certain way. You either use it like I've used it as a long range ridiculousness, which worked, or as a shotgun essentially. Here's the Krig, unlockable at level 21, which I don't have yet. So this is looking like potentially being the top gun, or certainly in the top 5. A lot of people complaining about the iron sights. What you can do at the moment is, if you haven't downloaded the resource pack when the game updated, this appears as an M4, being a new weapon. And the M4 has an excellent iron sight. So if you don't download that resource pack, or maybe you can revert it, and you really want to use the Krig, then you would have this iron sight, which is much, much better. Okay, this is something that I think there were leaks, but nobody was expecting this. The XPR has had a massive buff. This is my loadout for it here. You can use a tac scope. I'm trying something different. But you guys remember when I started the sniper grind, and this was one of the early guns, and it caused me so much pain. This is a great gun now. So, yeah, if you were using this VD, try this. Arctic 50, no change. EBR, no change. DLQ, arguably the best sniper for S&D. Why? You can have FMJ, you can wallbang, which its contender can't. Locust got a tiny buff. Doesn't really change its place in things, but you know, if you like having fun, this is gonna be a good fun quick scoping gun. NA45, no change. Outlaw, no real change. Rytech, China loves this gun. They use this in S&D. Its fire rate is slightly faster than a bolt action. SVD, here's the SVD, so no change to that. It's just the XBR50 slightly better. Koshka, no change, still a great gun. And this here, still one taps to the toes. So for aggressive sniping, this is probably still your gun to go, probably for your respawns. But with the mag to make it good, which is the anti-vehicle mag, you can't wallbang as easy. So that's why the DLQ is still very much seen in S&D. Right, basically any of the snipers, pick any sniper, you're probably winning. LMGs, this is interesting. No change to that, or that. The Holger got a buff. There's probably a mythic release coming out. Normally they don't rebuff guns that have been nerfed. People are ranking this over the RPD, and this is what's in my top 5. I'd say this is a top 5 weapon or a top 10. So its BSA has been improved, its performance. The Hades got some adjustments, so it's either better at long range or better at short range. Hades is better than the Chopper now if you're looking for aggressive LMGs. PKM, no change. Used to be the best LMG, not for a while. So yeah, I say the Holger. It's time for Holger thoughts to shine. On that note, look what I named my, I got mastery on the Holger. SMGs, no change to the Rust. Chicom, PDW, Razorback, MSMC, HG40. A lot of these guns I'm listing, some of them could be what you call secret meta or off meta is what you'd call it. Pharaoh's just had a underbarrel, a stun. See, there's this. Does anybody know the stun gun? I did the event. There was an event for this to unlock it, and I used it, and then the kill, not the kill effect, but the kill feed showed blue around the Pharaoh, like it was killing people with a stun. So I really don't know what this is or what it does, but I've got it now, and I don't know what that does to the Pharaoh, whether that makes it better. GKS is a great skin in the battle pass for this. If you were using the GKS last season, no reason to stop using it, but it's not meta. Cordite, yeah, no change, not meta. QQ9, some people will argue that is meta. I'd argue it's not. Fennec, no change. AGR 556, most pointless SMG. QXR, not meta. Bison, off meta. This, if you use it right, this is a great gun. I did a video the other day. Click here to watch it. MX9, yeah, I mean, last season it's not meta, but in the right hands, it's extremely deadly. CBR got a buff. So this is the gun that was meta for 6 freaking months, and they buffed it. And arguably, it could even be better than the Switchblade, or just probably more realistically, slightly worse than the Switchblade. So if you don't like the Switchblade, try the CBR. Yeah, both are deadly. PPSH, no change. Not meta. Mac 10, not versatile enough to be meta, but if you're a close range player, this gun is pretty much unparalleled. It is one of the most deadly close range weapons. So if you've got a map or in a situation where you can get up close, you'll pony them. KSB got its massive nerf last season. It's still a good SMG. We're just spoiled for choice. This is the thing. There's so many bloody guns now, you know. Switchblade, arguably the best gun in the game. With the Krig in place, this might still be the best gun. So it didn't get a nerf, so abuse it, guys and girls. Shotguns. Well, I did my shotgun camo grinds on all of these. This gun is meant to be the worst, but if you use it right, it's actually pretty deadly. In fact, this and any of the automatic shotguns like the Striker and so on, the Jack, they're all pretty good if you use them right. Whereas the BY, HSO450, KRM, they are all, if you're a shotgunner, pick any of those. And, you know, shotgun's got a little bit of a buff. I think it was last season. If you're into shotgunning, maybe this KRM would make it into a top 10 list. Definitely if you're in greener. Yeah, so I mentioned Striker, Echo. None of these had any changes. The Jack 12, probably my favorite shotgun. Like if I was going to have one in a loadout, like that video that I had on Terminal, click here. Okay, we're almost there. Kilo bolt action, fun gun to use. If you're going to give yourself a challenge, use that, but way from meta. SKS is meta. Has been meta for the last year or two. I would actually call it skilled meta. It's one of the best long-range guns in the game because you can spam it. You know, it's a tap fire. A little bit harder to use in S&D, but like if you practice around with it and get good with it, some of the best players in the world are AS mains. SPR, yeah, probably it used to be top meta, but it's probably more down the list of the snipers now. Fun guns used though, and this one here. That's it. There we go. That's my review. What did you think?